In this video, we will uncover the scientific studies that the meat, dairy, and pharmaceutical industries don't want you to know. A tremendous amount is known about the links between nutrition and health, but it's been buried beneath a clutter of irrelevant and harmful junk science, fad diets, and food industry propaganda. In the quest for answers, we turn to Dr. Colin Campbell's groundbreaking research published in the book, The China Study, which is a summary of the most comprehensive study ever conducted on the relationship between nutrition, health, and disease prevention. Through decades of rigorous scientific research, Campbell presents compelling evidence that challenges conventional wisdom about health and wellness. The findings are groundbreaking, suggesting that simple changes in our diet can have profound impacts on our overall health. I was so impressed with the results of this study that I decided to become certified in Dr. Campbell's plant-based nutrition program at Cornell University. Now you can learn the facts about what is making us sick at higher rates than ever before, in spite of the fact that we have more drugs and medical procedures to treat the most prevalent diseases in our population. The China Study is not just a book, it's a journey towards understanding the power of nutrition, and I highly recommend it to anyone truly interested in understanding why you get sick and how changes in your diet can prevent or treat disease. A few findings revealed by the China Study is that dietary changes can enable diabetics to discontinue their medication. Heart disease can be reversed with diet alone, kidney stones can be prevented by a healthy diet, and dairy can increase the risk of prostate cancer. So are you ready to uncover the secrets to a healthier life? Stay tuned as we journey through this illuminating book, uncovering the true answers to why there is such a higher incidence of debilitating diseases today. Let's start at the beginning. Dr. Campbell was raised on a dairy farm where milk was a huge part of his existence. He will proudly tell you that he was the first to go to college in his family, like many of us born before 1970. While in veterinary school at the University of Georgia, he was offered scholarship money from Cornell University to do research on animal nutrition. It was there that he set out on a mission to promote better health through the consumption of more meat, dairy, and eggs. While at Cornell, his work was to improve our ability to produce animal protein. The cornerstone of what he was told was good nutrition. He later went to work at MIT, where he spent most of his time working with two of the worst toxins known to man: aflatoxin and dioxin, a component of Agent Orange used in Vietnam. Fast forward to his work at Virginia Tech, where he coordinated a nationwide project in the Philippines, where they had found a high prevalence of liver cancer in Filipino children, which is usually an adult disease. Much to his surprise, Dr. Campbell's team uncovered a dark secret. Children who ate the highest protein diets were the ones most likely to get liver cancer, and they were the children of the wealthiest families. He then found several animal studies supporting higher cancer rates correlated with higher protein diets. This was against everything he had been taught, and he had to become an independent thinker. He decided to start an in-depth study to investigate the role of nutrition, especially protein, in the role of cancer development, which eventually received 27 years of funding from the National Institute of Health, the American Cancer Society, and the American Institute for Cancer Research. What they found was shocking. The cancer effect of aflatoxin on animals was inhibited in the subjects on low-protein diets, both at the cancer initiation stage and after cancer had already begun to grow. In fact, dietary protein was such a strong factor that they could turn cancer cells on and off by changing the level of protein consumed. The amount of protein given to the animals corresponded to the amount in the average American diet. Even more puzzling was the fact that not all proteins had this effect. One type if protein did not promote the aflatoxin-induced cancer. The safe protein was from plants, including wheat and soy. Dr. Campbell went on to direct the most comprehensive human study of diet, lifestyle, and disease in the history of biomedical research. Enter the China Study. Communities consuming diets rich in plant-based foods experience significantly lower rates of diseases, such as heart disease, diabetes, and cancer, compared to those with a diet heavy in animal-based foods. This raises a crucial question, one that forms the heart of Campbell's investigation and indeed the essence of the China Study. So, could the foods we eat really be the key to preventing disease? Early in the book, Dr. Campbell addresses what he calls diseases of affluence or lifestyle diseases, which are associated with high living standards, sedentary lifestyles, and diets rich in processed and high-calorie foods. These diseases are largely preventable and linked to factors such as unhealthy dietary habits, lack of physical activity, and stress. Common diseases of affluence include cardiovascular diseases, such as coronary artery disease and hypertension, type 2 diabetes, obesity, certain types of cancers, and metabolic syndrome. The China study presents compelling evidence of the impact of diet on many chronic diseases, including osteoporosis, multiple sclerosis, kidney stones, macular degeneration, cataracts, diabetes, arthritis, obesity, autoimmune diseases, cancer, and cardiovascular disease. In this video presentation, we will give you a brief overview of some pivotal points addressed by the China study. I would encourage you to pick up a copy of the book for an eye-opening presentation of scientific data, presented in a very understandable way, regarding the connection between your health and what you are putting into your mouth. So let's get started and look at how the results of the China study and how they can help you live a healthier and more fulfilled life. Since we already touched on it, let's dig a little deeper into cancer, an insidious disease which can often turn catastrophic. 1 in 3 people have cancer in their lifetime, and 600,000 a year die from it. These statistics will continue to rise due to the increasing use of food contaminants and radiation from wireless technology. Can we really turn off cancer? This question might sound a tad too ambitious, but it forms the crux of the 3rd chapter of Dr. Colin Campbell's book, The China Study. This chapter explores the profound relationship between diet and cancer, and it's a journey worth delving into. In this chapter, Dr. Campbell unravels the intricate connection between our eating habits and the development of cancer. He suggests that the food we consume can either feed cancer cells or starve them. The key, he proposes, lies in embracing a plant-based diet. Dr. Campbell's research reveals that animal proteins, particularly casein found in dairy products, can activate cancer cells. On the other hand, plant proteins, like those found in legumes and whole grains, appear to halt the growth of those same cancer cells. The concept behind this is both fascinating and empowering. Imagine being able to control the activation of cancer cells merely by choosing what's on your plate. One key to understanding the relationship between diet and cancer is to examine the differences between different cultures, some of which eat very high animal diets and others which eat mostly plant-based diets. Dr. Campbell co-authored the 1982 National Academy of Science report on diet, nutrition, and cancer, which focused on dietary fat and cancer. He was especially impressed by a study done by Ken Carroll from the University of Ontario, which showed a very strong relationship between dietary fat and cancer. I decided to update the previous work done to see if the trend continues. This is a map of the meat consumed in countries across the world. Let's look at the highest meat eaters. The US and Australia stand out. Did you know that the country with the highest cancer rate is Australia, and the country with the 5th highest rate is the US? Now let's turn our attention to the lowest meat-consuming countries, which are yellow on the meat eaters map. Would you believe that the lowest incidence of cancer is in most of the countries in Africa and India? Need I say more about the connection between meat consumption and cancer? In the grand scheme of things, these findings should revolutionize our approach to cancer. They should shift our focus from treatment to prevention, giving us an active role in our own health. There is a very good reason why the rate of cancer is climbing while more and more treatments are coming onto the market every day. Can you guess why? Money. Money from the meat, dairy, and pharmaceutical industries that pays for conflicting studies and media propaganda. But all of that is moot when we only compare the consumption of meat to the incidence of cancer worldwide. Can we mend a broken heart with food? This question sets the stage for our next examination of Dr. Colin Campbell's research, where he gets into the intricate connection between what we eat and the health of our hearts. Dr. Campbell revealed some startling links between our diets and heart disease, the leading cause of death globally. His research, based on comprehensive studies and meticulous analysis, reveals that the foods we consume play a pivotal role in either fueling or fighting this deadly disease. But first, a little background. Ischemic heart disease, or IHD, is a condition of the circulatory system where arteries become narrowed from cholesterol depositing along their walls. Basically, as the size of the tube gets smaller, the pressure, specifically blood pressure, increases. Additionally, as the vessels get smaller, less oxygen-carrying blood gets to the heart, lungs, brain, and the rest of the body. That is what ischemic means: a lack of blood supply, which could lead to heart attacks and strokes. Dr. Campbell's findings show a clear correlation between animal-based diets and an increased risk of heart disease. The culprits? Saturated fats and cholesterol found commonly in meat and dairy products. These, combined with a lack of fiber, tip the scales towards heart disease, contributing to blocked arteries and heart attacks. But here's the good news. Dr. Campbell's research also points to a powerful solution: a plant-based diet. He found that a diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and legumes can help reverse heart disease. How? By lowering cholesterol levels, reducing inflammation, and providing our bodies with essential nutrients and antioxidants that help fight disease. Dr. Campbell's findings are truly revolutionary, challenging long-held beliefs about diet and heart health. His research suggests that heart disease isn't just a result of genetics or aging, it's significantly influenced by what we put on our plate every day. Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn, who is 90 today, was a cardiac physician at the Cleveland Clinic, which draws patients from all over the world for the most advanced heart treatment available. 11 years into his career as a surgeon, he began to question the established treatment model for cancer and heart disease. He found that 3/4 of the planet had no heart disease at the time, which was a fact strongly associated with diet. Understanding that angiographic and surgical interventions were only treating the symptoms of heart disease, Dr. Esselstyn began a study in 1985 to test the effects of a whole food, plant-based diet on patients with established coronary disease. The study consisted of 23 patients. 5 dropped out within the first 2 years, leaving 18 patients in the study. All 18 had presented with severe disease, having 49 coronary events among them. They were highly motivated to stay alive, and they achieved remarkable success. In the following 11 years, there was exactly 1 coronary event among the 18 patients who followed the whole food plant-based diet. A physician who saw Dr. Esselstyn's research committed to the diet after having a heart attack, which conventional medicine couldn't help. In 32 months, without cholesterol-lowering medicine, he reversed his heart disease and lowered his blood cholesterol to 89. You are looking at the patient's arteriogram before and after. Image on the left is before, and you can see severe coronary artery occlusion in the area of the parenthesis where blood flow was cut off. Image B shows the same artery opened up and reversing his heart disease after 32 months on nothing but a plant-based diet. This chapter is a beacon of hope for those struggling with heart disease and a wake-up call for all of us about the power of our diets. It's a call to action to shift our eating habits, to choose plant-based foods that nourish our bodies and help us combat heart disease. So, the next time you sit down for a meal, remember Dr. Campbell's research. Remember that what you eat can either fuel disease or fight it. Remember that your diet has the power to heal your heart. Are you ready to transform your health and life through your diet? I'm here to offer you practical guidance on doing just that. In the remaining few minutes of this video, I'm going to give you some tips on what to eat, but more importantly, what not to eat. I'm also going to show you living proof of what a whole food diet can do for you in your 70s and 80s when all of your peers are dead or living in chronic pain. The China study extols the virtues of a plant-based diet, rich in whole foods. Whole foods are those untouched by the processes of refinement or additives. They are a cornucopia of nutrients. With them comes a host of health benefits, from improved cardiovascular function to boosted immunity. One thing to remember as you move towards becoming a whole food vegan is that today, there are many plant-based meat and dairy substitutes. These are processed foods often stripped of essential nutrients and containing toxic or harmful additives. These foods can contribute to chronic diseases and health issues like obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. However, it isn't unreasonable for people to wean themselves off of heavy meat diets with these substitutes. Just read the ingredients label. Look for GMO. Look for high fructose corn syrup and canola oil, and avoid them like the plague. It takes a little time at first, but you soon know which brands are your favorite, and it is well worth the effort. So, the next time you're thinking about what to eat, remember, it's clear that the path to good health may be as simple as what we choose to put on our plates. So, what's the secret to a long, healthy life? Before we end, I'd like to show you a couple of amazing women who are long-term raw vegans and who epitomize the long-term results of a whole food, plant-based diet. The first is Annette Larkin. She's married to a meat cutter who chose not to go vegan with her and who is currently bedridden with multiple health problems. Second is Mimi Kirk, a best-selling author and raw food chef. Mimi has been vegetarian, then vegan for nearly 50 years. Lastly, take a look at Chef Babette Davis. She is currently 72 and looks the same as this picture at 70. Chef Babette has been a vegan and raw food chef for over 25 years. We've traveled together through the pages and chapters of the award-winning China study, uncovering exciting and eye-opening insights about the influence of diet and lifestyle choices on our health. It reveals how the standard Western diet, rich in animal-based proteins and processed foods, can potentially lead to chronic diseases, while a whole food, plant-based diet can help prevent and even reverse these diseases. The study suggests that our health is not solely at the mercy of our genes or the unavoidable march of time. Rather, it's largely within our control, influenced by the choices we make each day about what to put on our plates. Consider the potential of a plant-based diet to turn off cancer, as demonstrated by Dr. Campbell, or its ability to heal hearts, as explored by Dr. Esselstyn. The evidence is compelling and the implications are far-reaching. It's not just about living longer, it's about living better, with more vitality and less disease. The China study also goes beyond diet, highlighting the importance of regular exercise and adequate sleep. It emphasizes that good nutrition isn't just about avoiding certain foods. It's about embracing a wide variety of nutrient-rich, plant-based foods that nourish our bodies and support our health. Lastly, we showed you living proof of the ability to remain youthful even into our 80s with a raw vegan diet. Our health is not predetermined. We are not victims of fate. We have the power to influence our health outcomes. And the secret to a long, healthy life isn't found in a magic pill or a single superfood. It's found in the consistent daily choices we make about what we eat, how we move, and how we live. In the end, it appears that the secret to a long, healthy life may be found in the simple act of choosing what we eat. Remember, you hold the power to transform your health one bite at a time. Before we conclude, I'd like to take a moment to say, if you enjoyed this video and found it informative, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We constantly strive to bring you more videos that help you understand and manage your health better. If this video helped you in any way, do give us a thumbs up. Your likes not only motivate us to create more content, but also help us reach more people who could benefit from this information. And speaking of reaching more people, remember to share this video with your friends and family. You never know who might need to hear this message. Thank you for watching, for your support, and remember, your health is in your hands.